Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropean. In today's video, what a tune! You guys have got to love Nimcohappy, sung by NAFTI, the North Sudanese pop star who has now taken the world by storm. About a year ago, this song blew up over social media. Everyone was playing it. It went really big on TikTok. All the big TikTok stars were starting to do voiceovers. They were singing to it. They were dancing to it. And I've got to admit it, I really liked the tune itself. And then one day I was watching the video, the official music video on YouTube. I saw her do this. The man who she is shaking hands with is no other than OMAR al-Bashir, the then president of North Sudan. And I thought to myself, well, that's a big wig that she's shaking hands there with. Then I also realized that this man has literally been accused of crimes against humanity by the ICC, and they have an arrest warrant out to bring him to justice. Now, whether or not he will eventually be brought to justice is another thing, but it seems as though the Sudanese government have preempted this arrest and they went about taking care of things themselves. Who is this Omar al-Bashir? What has he got to do with NAFTI? Is NAFTI's music being used to whitewash the situation up there in North Sudan? And should we care? This is a big question that I'm asking here today. And I know you guys may outwardly think straight away. I mean, these are African people and they are our African brothers and sisters. We should always look to help these people as and when they need it. But after I explain to you the nuances of the ethnic tensions that happened in Sudan, that actually made Sudan break into two different countries, now North Sudan and South Sudan, then you may think twice about thinking that way. So in today's video, we're going to try and answer those questions. But first, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'd also ask you to please follow the Oversight channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent safely and securely. Link also in the description. So what made me start thinking, hey, there's something funny going on? Well, I looked at NAFTI's pop music career in North Sudan, and she is a pretty well-established, successful pop star there in North Sudan. She recently got married, and when I say recently, I mean about 3 years ago. So she's doing well for herself. The thing is, who did she get married to? Now, this is where things start to get a little bit, I don't know, connected, because she got married to somebody who is a nephew to Omar al-Bashir, the then president of Sudan. Omar al-Bashir has been accused of doing some of the most heinous things imaginable. There are ethnic tensions in Sudan. We know there are ethnic tensions in Sudan. The reasons why is because of the way the countries were drawn up by the colonial powers, in this case, Great Britain. So there was a lot of bad press internationally about this Omar al-Bashir because he had this arrest warrant out for the crimes against humanity. And the reality is this: he knew what situation he was in. He knew he needed the backing. He needed to put North Sudan in good light. How would he go about doing this? Well, it's very simple. What you would do is you would then hire a professional company who will have a whole team of spin doctors, and these spin doctors will come in, they'll find all the positive things that are happening in your country, they'll send them to these publicists, and these publicists will then send them to these large social media accounts. So once they send them to their social media accounts, these social media accounts will start to push out this content, whatever content that is linked positively to your country. And then people will start to see your country in a different light. In this case, it was NAFTI and nimcohappy. So this is the reason why this nimcohappy actually came really successful, really big, internationally known, almost 5 years after she released it. She released it back in 2015 and nobody knew about it. I didn't know about it. So there is something there, a mechanism, something happened to push this out towards people. It wasn't just by accident. It was done to whitewash the crimes and the bad things that were happening in North Sudan. So eventually, back in 2019, Omar al-Bashir was ousted out of power in a coup d'etat, a bloodless coup, which is the coups that we like to hear about, don't we? Omar al-Bashir had been in power for 30 plus years. He got pushed out by the military. So now in North Sudan, the military run the country. Now, some people may see this as a positive, some people may see this as a negative. In general, it's a positive, but as you can see what is actually happening right now in 2021, people want a democratically elected government. They don't want the military to be in charge anymore. And of course, the top military generals who are now in power in the country, they don't want to let go of that power. And so things like this have started showing up on social media.
I'm seeing kids crying for their parents, people staring, not caring, not a care in this world, not a shame in this world. So what would you do if you was in my shoes? Sudan, I pray for y'all, but I lift my hands, inshallah, everything will be alright.
There are a lot of people, a lot of civilians, young people in North Sudan who are now experiencing some real big problems because they are being oppressed by the military junta. Civilians have been targeted and they wanted the world to know about this. So they have been taking to social media to tell the world about it. Now, I'm going to say something which some of you are not going to like. I'm going to be honest with you. But after I explain to you the reasons why I'm saying this, you may understand. You see, at the beginning of this video, I told you that there are lots of ethnic tensions within the country of Sudan, the then whole country of Sudan. Sudan was broken into two halves, both North Sudan and South Sudan. Okay, it used to be one big country, but in 2011 it was cut in half, and the North Sudanese, which was mainly ran by one ethnicity, it was split into two for a number of different reasons. One of those reasons was to keep the peace. And of course, this is something we all want. Okay, so this was really good. Made people really happy because these colonial lines which had been drawn up, which had kept people fighting amongst each other, well, they just weren't doing the job that they were supposed to do. Isn't it amazing that we can draw an imaginary line and then all of a sudden people stop doing things to other people? So I asked the question, should we care? Should we, as African diasporans, as African people, should we care about those people in North Sudan? Shall we answer them? Shall we also do what Sean King is doing now and take their Instagram and their TikTok posts and share them towards people to let the international community know about the oppression, the brutal oppression that is happening there in North Sudan? Well, my answer to this may surprise you. I don't think we should do anything. I don't think we should care. Why should we care? Let me explain to you why I personally don't care. You see, way back in 2011, Sudan had not been split into two yet. It was just one big country, and there was a lot of ethnic tensions happening in that country. In northwest Sudan, there is a region called Darfur. Okay, many of you guys might have heard of Darfur on the news, and it was nothing positive that you would have heard. You would have heard of people being targeted by the military, ethnic cleansing, that type of thing. Now, when you ask yourself about which ethnicities were being cleansed, when you start asking yourself about the ethnicities in southern Sudan that were going to war against the people of North Sudan, who do you think these people in North Sudan were trying to cleanse? Well, it may surprise you, but the people in North Sudan were targeting Africans. They were targeting people who were ethnically African. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, okay, so North Sudanese, aren't these people African? I mean, look at them, they're dark-skinned, you know, they are in the middle of Africa. Well, they're African, aren't they? No. These people do not consider themselves as African. They don't see themselves as African. They see themselves as ethnically Arab. They call themselves Arabs. They see themselves as Arab. They worship the Arab religion of Islam. Okay? They don't see themselves as Africans. In fact, they despise Africans. This is the reason why those people in Darfur were being targeted. The reason why the people in South Sudan were being attacked. You see, the people in South Sudan see themselves as ethnically African. These people are not deranged. They know who they are. And they are proud of who they are. The people in Darfur, in northwest Sudan, those people also see themselves mainly as ethnically African. But there was a good dosing of ethnically Arab people in that area as well. And what happened was, well, all you have to do is Google Darfur and see what comes up. This is the reason why I don't think we should even listen to NIMCOHAPPY. I think it's been used by literal racists to try and cover the truth. They know who they are. They know what they are. And they are absolutely unashamed to say so until they come here in the West and they are grouped with people like us. Then things tend to change. So I don't know about you, but I, for one, won't be supporting these people in North Sudan. I hope and pray for them because I don't think civilians should ever be oppressed. I hope that things come good for them, but they won't be getting any support from me anytime soon. Good luck. So what a story, eh? What do you guys think? Do any of you guys think that we should help the North Sudanese? Are any of you guys North Sudanese yourself? Are you ethnically Arab? Do you think what I said was the truth? Do you think Omar al-Bashir, who is at this moment in prison and should be released anytime this month, do you think that they should shuttle him off over to the Netherlands to face the ICC? Let me know in the comment section below. It'd be really good to hear your opinion on this. So guys, I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'd like to give an extra special thank you to my patrons, and I'll see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think happy. Until the next time, please think twice. Torah a bit.